Welcome to This is Random.
I'm Tay.
And I'm Adri. Today we'll be talking about crushes. Ooh la la.
How fun.
Yeah.
So, first question. How do you know you have a crush?
What do you mean by this question?
In my opinion, I feel like there's a difference between a crush and an attraction.
Okay.
So, you can find someone attractive,
Right.
like physically you find them attractive to look
Okay.
at. However, do you have a crush on them? Like, are you interested? Well, first of all, let's start off with this.
Okay.
How would you define a crush?
Somebody I want to be in a relationship with.
Okay, so going off with that,
Yes.
how do you know you found someone where you want to be in a relationship with them, not just you find them attractive?
I mean, attraction, I believe, comes first. If you're attracted to them, then the idea of crushing on them makes it much easier. But for me, I think I would have a crush once it's been more than a couple of days and I still I think about the person and I wonder what they're doing and and who they're with and when we're gonna hang out and just the whole I just imagine the whole relationship and how great it would be. Oh my god, this is so awesome. Look at us hanging out, having a beer or two.
Having a beer or two? Is that your idea of a date? Your
Yeah.
first date is having a beer or two? I don't know. I think, well, I do agree with what you said, like the attraction
Yeah.
part. I mean, that wasn't what I meant in the question, but I do think that's a really good point with attraction. I think for me, I have like an aha moment whenever that happens. So the last guy I had a crush on, I had that aha moment, and I could literally like pinpoint the day it happened or the moment it happened. And we were working together, and I was leaving, and I think what happened was as I was leaving, he had like his hand on like my waist.
Okay.
And at that moment I was kind of like, I already knew I found him attractive. I just wasn't sure if it was like an actual crush or not. I think it was like building up to it, but I was trying to convince myself not to do it because I was trying to have a fuck feelings year. I do this every I did this in 2019. It didn't work. And then I tried to do it in 2020. It didn't work. Or I tried to start a hashtag fuck feelings, and then that year. So I tried to do it 2020. It didn't work. I caught feelings in February. So yeah, I was like leaving, and he like put his hands on my waist, and I was like taking the elevator. And I was like in the late elevator, and I literally said to myself, fuck.
Wow.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But
So much for that hashtag.
that it was I tried. You know what's funny is I thought about doing fuck feelings 2021. I mean, yeah, I can still do it. It didn't actually. No, it doesn't work because
Yeah, the year is about to end.
it's not even just that. It's like I was still in the feelings in January. The thing is, if I want to do fuck feelings, I want it to be the full year, like the full 12 months.
Yeah.
So I already technically was still in the feelings in January, so I can't count 2021. That's the only thing.
I mean, either way, you would have to start over.
Yeah, regardless. So
Yeah, because it's October now.
exactly. So
And
it makes no point.
starting now would make no sense.
I know.
So try again next year.
Try again next year. But as far as like when you know you have a crush, it's annoying to me. I hate having crushes.
I think it's the feelings part that you don't like.
I think so too. I think it's because I don't like feeling. That sounds horrible. It's not that I don't like feeling. I don't like emotions. That sounds even worse.
I mean, I'm the same way. I don't like
Yeah, but
emotions.
it's more so like you know me, I don't put my feelings out there.
Yeah.
I don't. So, especially if it's like if I have a crush on someone, so it's like just the waiting, but we'll get to that point
I
later.
mean, my crushes, they don't know that I have a crush on them. Like I act so normal, like friendly towards everyone. It depends if I meet my crush in person or if it's just like one of those things where you see them online.
Hmm.
Like I have online crush I've had online crushes or like people I found attractive and then I follow them.
Yeah.
And then I unfollow them once I realize I don't like them like
But
that.
that's the thing though. But that's the thing though. I think that's the difference between a crush and attraction. Like you find people attractive. So this is
Yeah.
for me personally. When it comes to crushes, I've come to the realization for me what works is we're friends first
Mhm.
and then I catch feelings. So this isn't to say I catch feelings anytime I make a guy friend, but it's more
Mhm.
so I do think there has to be an attraction, like in a sense, a physical attraction. So it's like I find them attractive,
Yeah.
and then we're friends, and then somehow feelings get caught, so to speak. I can't
Mm.
do the whole. You ever see when like people they meet someone on the street or they meet someone like at a bar or a coffee shop and they're like, "Let's go on a date." That just random me, or even like online, so to speak. It feels
I
awkward to me.
oh, I mean that's how it is. Like how would you know if how would they become your friend if they don't go on a date? I think the way people categorize date has to be like between a boy and a girl if you find them attractive, but a date is also between friends. Like we go on dates all the time. I call it
You call
dates.
it date.
And that's what it is. It's a date between me and you.
Listen,
And that's
whenever
fine.
we hang out, I only call it a date because you call it a date. I
Because
don't
that's what it
consider us
is.
hanging out as a date. All right, I define date
Mm.
as you and the person you are wanting to be in or looking for a future relationship with that person.
Okay.
I think you're a very romantic person at heart
That's true.
and you romanticize things. So with that, you see friends hanging out as a date.
Because
Like
it's a
I'm pretty
date.
sure you consider us doing this right now a date.
No, this is us. This is us at work.
This is working. Okay.
This is working.
But after this we're gonna go on a date. After
Um,
this we would date, yeah.
yeah, it will be a date if we go out and do stuff together. It's a
Okay.
date.
So when
Like
we went to karaoke and sushi, that was
it
a
was a
date.
date.
Okay. I've been going on dates and not realizing it, guys.
Yeah.
I'm technically dating, so apparently.
Just as friends.
Yeah.
It's like a friendship date.
Yeah. But I mean, again, because you consider dates, I don't define dates. I do it with you because you like to call it dates, so I don't mind that. But it's like any other friendship hanging out, I don't consider it like a date because date to me is a romantic situation or an attempt to be romantic situation.
So I think that's the problem with the whole thing. Like if you consider dating just like a romantic situation, like hanging out romantically, a date, then I I won't be I would have a lot of dates, but it won't be considered date towards other
Yeah.
people. Cuz sometimes I hang out with other people I consider a date. Like they would say, "Oh, let's go grab a drink or something." I'm like, "Oh, it's a date." Cuz it is a date to me.
I think that's just you. You're just like a naturally like flirty, romantic
But
person, so
I'm
you
just
do that. You
I
romanticize things.
I do.
You do. I mean, it's okay. There's no problem with that.
It's
Like, I'm not
not.
saying that. That's your thing, and that's
That's my
fine.
thing.
That's
Like
totally fine.
I go on a lot of dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a lot of friends.
But as far as that goes, like with crushes, I think I can't do the whole we randomly meet or we randomly, yeah, we randomly meet and then we go on a date. For me, because my thing is this. Hold on. So in when it comes to relationships, I value friendship a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think friendship should be the core of any relationship,
Mm-hmm.
romantic or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like for us to be friends as at first. Like, I don't, because I'm the type of person where it's like, I don't want to just rush into a relationship sort of thing, because I feel like relationships are a lot of pressure. I see it as that for me.
Okay.
So I would rather us just be like friends first. But again, that's not to say every single time I have a guy friend, like I develop a crush on them. And it's also not to say like every guy I find attractive, I
Mm-hmm.
develop a crush on them. I feel like it's weird with me. I don't know.
I'm sure you're not like the only person that feels that way. Like we're opposite when it comes to like that kind of situation. I don't see any problem with going on a date with somebody you just met as long as we both understand or have an idea of where it's leading. But I have this thing where I believe that I have a crush on somebody and then like a few months later, I changed my mind. I realized that it wasn't gonna work out anyways.
It
Like,
takes a while for
like
me to
it,
do that.
we technically broke up in my head.
Do you ever like have a crush on someone and then like you get over it and then you talk about him in your head again, like as if you were in a relationship, like he cheated on you or some shit, and you're just like, that bitch, like fuck him. I don't need him. It's like you guys were never together in the first
No,
place.
wait, maybe. Like,
Okay.
how does he not know that I exist? Like, what's that about? You know what? I don't want this anymore. Like, he's a loser.
Okay. So next point. Do you have a type?
It's more with personality.
Hmm.
I like people who are confident,
Okay.
who are outgoing, treat me like the princess that I am, because I am. So as long as, because I am the type of person that if we're having a conversation and you're gonna figure out who I am pretty quickly, because I'm gonna tell you who I am and you're gonna
Ooh.
know it. So I would say stupid things all the time. So you know from the start that I say the most ridiculous thing, nonsense, pure nonsense. But within that nonsense, I tell a little of myself. And it depends actually. If I already met the person, like if we're having a conversation with just us, then I will figure out who they are and whether or not they fall into the category of what I want. I like somebody with hair. I love hair. I have a
I was gonna
thing
say
for hair.
explain that. I get what you mean, but the people might not be. They might be like, she likes hair.
Hair. What a weirdo.
You like long
I like
hair.
long hair, like with a guy. Oh, I don't think I think that's the problem. I think I have a crush on people's hair and not them themselves. And then I realized later on that they are not the type for me, so I like change my mind and find somebody else with nice hair. I like the luscious kind of hair that makes you want to run your hands right through it and just like touch it. I look at hair first,
Mm-hmm.
butt second.
Like that's your hair as like say if you're just going on based on physical attraction, hair is
Physical
the
attraction.
first thing
I
you
notice.
notice in a
Yes.
guy.
And then their butt, and then their face, and then
So
their body,
hair. Wait, what?
and then their body. Like
So hair, butt,
butt, face,
face,
body.
body. So that's your tiers.
Yeah. It's weird.
No, it's not. It's not weird. Well, it may be a little bit.
It's weird.
I mean, it's not. I've never personally heard of someone. The first thing they are attracted to with a person is their hair,
Yeah.
especially if it's like on a guy.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's you know how when people say, "Oh my god, that person has nice eyes." I'm like, "You notice their eyes?" I'm like, "I didn't even notice they have eyes." I look at
Okay.
I look at their hair and then I go like to their butt and then I go to their face. Sometimes I'm stuck on the hair, that I didn't make to the butt, and then by the time I get to the face, it's too late.
I just recently started appreciating guys' butts. I'm not gonna lie.
Guys have some nice butts.
It's not fair sometimes.
I mean, it's nice to look at,
It's
so it's
nice.
fair for me.
It's nice for you
Yeah,
because
I enjoy looking at it.
yeah.
That's how my type goes. Then after the hair, the butt, then the face, then the personality. Sometimes the personality outweighs everything else. There are some people that they're just easier to get along with, so it's easy for me to envision myself with them. Envision? Did I say that right?
Envision.
Envision myself with them. So that's how I would categorize my type. You?
Physically, I don't think I have a specific type because I feel like all the guys I've been interested in look pretty different. I would like to think that. I would like to think I don't have a type physically. Personality wise, I love sarcasm. I think sarcasm or just being witty is one of like the sexiest things ever because I can be pretty sarcastic myself. So I want someone
Who
who,
can match it?
yes,
Or at least
or
exceed it?
like the mind game, kind of back
Yeah.
and forth.
That's pretty cute.
I love that. I love like that we can like tease each other back and forth like that.
Yeah,
That
that's pretty nice.
that is nice. I think someone who's not, I want to say not clingy because I love my, not myself. Well, I do love myself.
Your space.
my,
I'm happy you love yourself. I
I
love you
do.
too.
No, but like I love like my space and my personal time.
Right.
And it takes a lot for someone to come before that.
Yeah.
So I want someone who understands that, like she wants to be alone, or not, or even like she doesn't need to talk all the time.
Mhm.
But then at the same time, I want someone to want to hang out with me or want to
Yeah.
reach out to me. It's kind of weird. Like this is why I feel
No,
like I'm,
I have the same thing.
but it's like I feel like it's complicated sometimes because it's like you want someone to call you and reach out to you and come see you, but you also want to be left alone. It's like I want them to read my mind and know when I want that. Ideally, like on a perfect world, that's what I would like.
or or it could be where I realize I actually want someone who's clingy and not clingy at the same time. So I want basically what you like.
Yeah.
And I realize you can have that balance. It is there. The thing is what most
Certain
people would
people can do
say
it.
is communication is
Yes.
is the
Is the key.
is the key to this weird thing that's going on. If you want to be alone, you can be alone. Just tell them that you're busy or you don't want to talk right now or whatever. And they want to hang out with you. They ask you if you're free. Don't just assume that you're always free just because you're dating or whatever or you like each other. I think there can be a balance between the two.
I do too. And I also think like what personality wise, I like someone who's very, I guess, engaging, and by that I mean like they're curious to know
Who you
me.
are?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I constantly feel like I'm the type of person where I want to show people that I care
Hmm.
and that so I'll ask them questions about their life and everything like that. So I like someone who shows that they're interested by asking me questions
Hmm.
here and there or even just like remembering little things that I say. So it's like I'll say something in passing and say the next conversation they'll make a reference to it. Like I notice that and I pick up on that. And I
Hmm.
love that.
Okay, so what you're saying is, you want one of those movie relationships where,
Yes. I mean in a perfect world, yes.
yeah,
I again, I want someone who can read my mind and know what I want. Ideally, yeah, I know that's not realistic, but a girl can dream, of course.
Yeah.
There's no
There
problem with
there
that.
there might be somebody out there who can read your mind,
Yeah,
who
of
want
course.
exactly what you want and know exactly how you feel.
Hmm.
However, that's gonna take a while.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's fine. But have you noticed, like, because you said you had a type, you talked about it. Like, has
Yeah.
it changed over the years or, like, has it been consistent?
I think it has changed over the years. Before I didn't realize that I had a type, so I would say, "Oh yeah, I don't have a type," but in reality, I do.
I feel like everyone does that. Like, they say, I don't have a type. I
Yeah.
love everyone. It's just like, be
Mm,
realistic. Like, come on.
yeah.
You have
No.
a you have a preference. I think it's okay to have
D-
a preference. Just
Yeah.
don't shit on those that don't fall within your preference.
Like before, I would think I have a type of my type would be white people, white guys.
You like white guys.
I used to, yeah. And now it's just like I'm open to whatever as long as you have nice hair, nice butt, a good
Mm-hmm.
face, and a very excellent personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess for me, like, if I've changed type over years, I don't think so. Like, personality wise, for my type, it's been the same consistently because it matches my personality because I like what can match me, so to speak. Physical appearance, it hasn't, it changes because, again, not everyone that I've been into looks the same.
Right.
I don't think so. Um, I'm like thinking back of like all my crushes. I'm just like, do they look the same? No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. And I would prefer it if they don't. It's good. Oh my god. So I was on Instagram and
Mm.
there's this guy. Um I don't know his handle or anything like that. I just know he like does posts on TikTok and stuff like that. And he looks so close to the last guy I was into. You know who that is. He
Yes.
looks so much like him. It freaked me the hell out. Like, freaked me the
And it
hell.
wasn't him?
No, it wasn't him.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't. But he looked so much like him that it scared me a little bit. Because I thought the shit was like following me. And I'm like, this shit is weird. Because I was trying to get over it.
Did you?
Oh, the crush?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does
Um,
that doesn't sound like a yes?
we're okay, so I guess that goes into our next topic of making the first move. I never did. So what happened was, so I never made the first move. What I did was just little instances where I would hope they do it. I don't like making the first move because I have a crippling fear of rejection.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I never did it. What I tend to do is I like to throw hints in the hopes of them doing it. And it's so funny. So I go on Instagram, right? I was looking through my old stories because you know on Instagram you can like check your old stories and
Yeah.
archive. So I was looking through it, and when I was looking through it, I can tell when in my stories I was hinting at me having a crush. There was one that back in 2019, I liked an old coworker of mine, and I posted on my story something like, take this as a sign to go get his/her number.
Oh my god.
I'm so stupid. I used to, and there would like be little instances in my stories where I would hope that they would see it. They did. Nothing ever happened.
I mean, you could have always take your own advice.
And what?
Take it as a sign to go get them digits.
I did. All right. So what happened was there was a guy who, again, I worked with. I used to like, and I used to like right after my shift was over. I used to like stop by his post and like talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an instance where I was doing that, and then I was like, "Oh, it was Friday, the weekend's coming up." So he was like, "Oh, what are you gonna do for the weekend?" So I said, oh, I don't really have any plans. So he says he he likes to bike ride, like he does outdoor stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I sometimes like to do that. So he was like, "Oh, do you want to go bike riding one day in Central Park, or I guess the next day or something like that?" So I said, "Oh, that'll be cool. So when do you do it?" So he said he does it in the morning. So we didn't have each other's number, but we just had each other on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So I said just right before I left, I was like, just DM me like the time and where we're gonna meet up and everything like that. He never did. So I think so after that instance, I continued to like throw hints of I'm into you. There was even one point where I'd always have like snacks with me. So
Yeah.
I would stop by again his position
And
at the
offer
end of
him
my day.
snacks.
Yeah, and I would offer him snacks. So there was in the I guess this is a story time.
Okay.
So I eventually got over him at some point or another. So it was him and another friend. I stopped showing up. So the friend, let's call him M, because
Okay.
let's call M. So I was hanging out with M. I stopped by my job. It was my day off, so I just stopped by for something. And he was like, "Oh, he was going on his break. Let's go. Let's talk." So he was like, "Oh, I have a question for you." So the guy I liked, let's call him K.
Okay. K. K and M.
Yeah. So M is the friend, K is the guy I liked. So he was like, "You don't stop by anymore with your snacks." So I was like, "What do you mean?"
The nerves. The
Yeah.
audacity. The gumption.
So he was like, "Oh, he's mad at you. Like K is mad at you." So I'm like, "Why is he mad?" He's like, "Cause you don't stop by anymore with your snacks." So I'm just like, "Well, Kay knows where I'm at because we worked at the same job. I'm just not, I'm at a different position, a different post. So
Right.
I'm like, you know where I am. You can stop by anytime to talk to me. We even see each other in the break room here and there. You can talk to me there. I don't know why you're mad that I don't stop by with snacks. So I went out with M and we hung out. And I was like, what did you mean by that when you said Kay is mad at me for that?
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, "Well, you don't stop by anymore and you have all these snacks and it was looking a bit sus." And I felt annoyed
As you should.
cuz I was like, I'm being sus because and the thing is I feel like he knew that I had a thing for him, Kay. Like I
Yeah.
think he kind of picked up on it. It was I feel like pretty obvious in my opinion.
Okay.
And he never said anything. Again, he knows the other positions that I stand at when I'm working, and he
And then
never.
had the nerves to be upset when you're not there with snacks.
Yeah.
Mm,
So I
shame.
think I was just so annoyed by that, but I forgot the point of the story. I think that was just turned to me like venting. But
It's okay. We could have a venting minute.
yeah. But as far as like what do I do if I have a crush on someone? I like to do little acts of service. So in the sense where
That's your love language.
hmm?
Little acts of service.
Of my love language,
Mm-hmm.
I think so. So like there's two different types of love language, like
Yeah.
how you receive it and how
How
you
you
give
give it.
it.
Yeah.
So I think giving it for me is acts of service, but I think I do it at not an annoying amount, but I go overkill with it. And technically, no, not even overkill. I think I just do it unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So, like
Like you show up every day with snacks. And
that,
then you make posts about it.
all right, the post thing isn't like an act of service. That's just me being like needy and weird.
But you still make posts, like just so that they would see that you're doing something or you
And
want them to do something. And then at the same time, you're also doing your act of service so that they noticed you or at least get the idea to ask you out or go on a date or
yeah,
something like that. So
yeah.
that's the overkill part.
Like the last guy we worked together, I don't have a crush on every guy I work with. I need to like state that. I need to state that I don't have a crush on every guy I work with. It's just like convenient because you see this person every day.
Yeah, it's like when you're at school, like high school or middle school, and there's this guy that you like, and you see them every day, and it just becomes like one of this thing where you just get deeper and deeper into your infatuation.
Exactly. So that was that case. And what I would do is I would sometimes stay later on my shift, not just like I would like stay later just to, I guess, be with him or like work with him. And I don't even mean stay later as in like I would work extra hours. Sometimes I would do work extra hours, but sometimes I'll be like, my day is done. It's over. And I
Like
would
go
still like
home.
hang around.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. Wow.
This is why I hate having crushes because I turn into such a like a simp.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just you would have to pick the person who would appreciate that.
And I don't, and I hate that. You know what it is? You know what it is? I realized. I think
Uh,
I just came to this conclusion with this conversation.
okay.
um, I want someone who probably wouldn't do this normally, but they're willing to make the exception for me.
Okay, so like those Korean drama or Chinese drama where the guy he doesn't acknowledge other girls and he's kind of mean to them, and then he gets to know you and he's all like, "Oh, sweet. I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna do that for you. I'm gonna change my whole way
I mean, I guess. I
for
mean, he doesn't have to be
you."
like he doesn't have to be like mean to other people because I know what you're talking about in those dramas, and some of those guys are just assholes
Yeah,
to other
they're
people.
pretty
I don't
assholes.
want him to be like an asshole to everyone, but he only likes me. That's a red flag. If a guy or girl is an asshole to everyone else, but they're only nice to you, that is a red flag. That is not flattering.
Yeah.
But I want him to just kind of be like, he treats everyone however he treats me. I mean, he treats everyone however he treats them, but I'm on a higher pedestal.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. I mean, you wouldn't be
Okay.
treated like a princess,
I mean, yeah.
yeah.
It makes sense.
But for you, like, what have you done to get your crush's attention? Like, have you done
Oh
anything?
my.
Are you normal or are you like me that weirdly pines waiting for them to make a move?
Again, it depends. If it's a okay, so I had this crush. It's been 2 years. It feels like it's been longer. I'm not very good with dates nowadays. Anyways, so I saw this guy on one of my friend Instagram, and he was cosplaying, and I was like, "Oh, he looks kind of cute." And I know him, right? So I clicked on it, and then I'm scrolling through to see what he's done and how he looks or whatever. So I'm like, "Oh, he's kind of cute." So I click follow, and then he followed me back, and I was like, "Oh, cool." So he would make Instagram stories and go live, and I'm just there. I watch it, and over time, I realized that I actually have a crush on him. So every time his story come on, I would click it. I would be talking to my friend, and I'm like, "Oh, his story's on. I gotta go. Bye." So like I end all conversations. I'm not paying attention to anybody. I just automatically click on this live.
Okay, do you think they guys notice that? Because I did that. I do that too sometimes. Where it's like I would always look at their story.
Mm,
If you're a guy and you listen, I don't think a lot of guys listen to this podcast,
probably not.
but if you are,
If you were a guy,
do you care if people look at your stories?
I don't think so. I mean, what I do it for isn't for them, it's for me. I'm doing it for me, not for them. I have convinced myself that he needs me to watch his story.
Wow, your
Because
ego.
I know, because when I go on, he only have like one or two people watching his live. So when I go on his live, I'm keeping him entertained. He has somebody to talk to. He's not at home being bored because most of the time he's on live, he claims he's bored and he's just watching YouTube videos, commenting. Sometimes he's doing his work, and I'm just there doing my own work and commenting whenever, and I feel like I'm doing him.
You feel like you're doing him a
I'm
favor
doing
by you having a crush on him,
not having a crush, just going on his live.
but you're going on the live because you have a crush.
Yes, but I'm not doing him a favor for the crush. The crush is my own thing. The live is a step further than what I intended to. So I have convinced myself that I go on his live because if I don't go on his live, he's not going to have anybody to talk to. And that's where I go sort of crazy, or not like crazy crazy, just my level of what I would do just doesn't seem normal, cuz I wouldn't go on somebody live if I don't know them or if they're not a close friend. I'm not going to go on your live just because.
I never go on people's live. I feel like it's so awkward.
I go on Nicki Minaj live whenever she has one.
Like celebrities, yeah, because they have
Celebrities.
a big following. But if it's like if it's some random person
Yeah,
and there's
no.
only like 10, like 5 to 10 people like watching, I don't go on that. That shit feels weird.
Yeah. So I'm doing something totally out of my bracket of comfort. So I have to convince myself of a certain, like, I'm doing this for him so that I can feel better about doing it or more comfortable with doing it in the first place.
So are you the type to make the first move?
It depends on how I feel that day. It all depends on the day. So if there's a day I wake up and I feel like, oh yeah, this is my day. Nothing can stop me now. I put on music that uplifts my spirit, that make me feel a certain way. I would be like, yeah, I could do that. I'll go out. If I have a couple of drinks, I will be making the first move. Be like, oh, you're so cute. Can I touch your hair? Hey, just normal stuff. But if it's online on social media, then no, I do not. I have like this thing where I would give the phone to my friends and tell them to do it because they're like, "Oh my gosh, Adri, I'm tired of you talking about it. Just do something." And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds like a lot. You know what? I'm gonna just stay over here and just keep watching his live and just looking at everything he does, and that's it." And they're like, "No, you gotta do something." I'm like, here you go. Here's the phone. You DM them. You slide into that DMs.
I don't know.
Other than that, I'm not doing
I
anything.
feel like it's easier online than in person. At least online, it's like if it doesn't work out, you just block them. But like in person, it's just like you just walk away.
Yeah,
No, I feel like
they.
that's even weirder.
I feel like it's.
Like online, I could like blame it on, oh, I have bad Wi-Fi and I just went away. Sorry.
No, I feel like it's easier. It's easier for me to do it in person because that way I won't convince myself not to do it. If it's in person and I get comfortable enough to say it, then I'm okay. The worst they could tell me is no. So I find it easier to just say it in person and done.
So rejection.
Okay.
You have to prepare yourself. It's like emotionally prepare yourself for this one.
Okay.
Um, have you ever been rejected? Like out, like they told you no.
Yes.
How did that go?
Um, Pretty okay. There are instances where I'm like a friendly person. Like when you get to meet me, I'm just like talking to you like I would talk to anybody else. But most people consider it as flirting when I'm just trying to have a honest conversation. So there was this guy I was talking to one night, and I was gonna ask him a question, but it's not the question he thought I was asking. So he said, "Oh, yeah, I'm not looking for anything right now." I'm like, what are you talking about?" I wasn't asking you. I wasn't asking you that, but okay. I literally said okay and just walk away because it makes no sense trying to convince him that I wasn't gonna say that. Because then there's a good chance he might have thought that I was just saying that because he said no. So I just left it and I just walked away. I was like, oh, forget it. And I walked away.
I think for me, it's like while I'm like terrified of rejection, I'm gonna say scared for a lack of a better term. It's not actual fear,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess I'm quote unquote scared of the awkwardness afterwards. So
Mm.
it's more so if like if I'm rejected, or if you tell me like I'm not into you. So I've never been rejected in the sense where it's like I'm not into you. I've kind of been rejected in the more so sense where it's like I like you said, I don't want a relationship right now.
Yeah.
And even still, like I'm fine with that. However, I feel like when that happens, guys are awkward. I don't know if they think like I feel awkward when it's just more
Yeah.
so I feel fine. So it's when they're awkward. Because like I said, how my crushes develop from friendship.
Right.
So I don't know if they think that the rejection, them rejecting me or whatever, is going to ruin the friendship, because I've rejected a friend. We're still friends and we talk occasionally. I don't think it's awkward, but then again, who am I to say I don't know if they feel awkward about it?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because they still ask to hang out. So,
Maybe they think they will change your mind.
do you know who I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about.
I
That's
don't
why I said what I said.
I don't know. Um the guy that I was talking about earlier, as far as like me being a simp over, he has a girlfriend now.
Of course he does.
Yeah, which is funny. It's not funny to me. Actually, it's kind of funny to me because I found she showed up on my Instagram, like my recommended thing,
Okay.
and it was like, oh, we have a mutual friend, which is him.
Right.
She does her own podcast. She has her own podcast, and because I was looking for people that we could possibly like cross promote with,
Right.
and I'm assuming it's his girlfriend because they hang out a lot from what I've seen. He's never outrightly said it, but
I mean, they could just hang out. They could be just friends.
I don't know, because I saw like, like when you're friends with you have a mutual friend,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not friends with that person. So it's like if you go on their photo, that mutual friend's comment is the first comment you're gonna see. I don't know if you've noticed that, but
I haven't noticed that.
Instagram does that. So if
Okay.
you're not friends with someone but you have a mutual friend, and that mutual friend comments, more than likely you're gonna see that comment right then and there.
Okay.
So his comments show up or whatever, because that's the only mutual friend me and her have,
Right.
and it's like flirty comments. So that's why I made the, I think, very smart assumption that that's his girlfriend, and it's fine. Like, I don't care.
Okay.
I think knowing he has a girlfriend helped me get over him a lot quicker. I'm a firm believer of the best way to get over someone.
Is for them to get somebody else.
Yes. Either, I think I was gonna say get under someone, but that too. Like, I think for me personally, and it's no hard feelings or
Right.
anything like that. I think it helps me, honestly. If I have a crush, I want to get over it as soon as possible.
I mean, that makes sense. I
Like
feel
if
the same way too.
if I see where it's not gonna happen, a relationship, I want to get over the crush. However, I don't think getting over a crush is something that easy. It's like a breakup, so to speak. It's
All in your head.
a lot of it, not all in your head, but I guess you've already built this you've already built this future for you and this person. So it's harder to kind of get over that, even if you know nothing is gonna go forward. So for me, if I like someone and either I'm rejected or I see that they're in, or yeah, I see that they just don't want to. If I see that they're with someone else, I don't mind that, because I feel like that helps me get over it a lot faster.
Yeah, for me, it's more of the fact that if they are in a relationship, then it's more it's more like I don't want to be in the middle of it because I don't like unnecessary drama. So if they are in a relationship, I'm gonna automatically just decrush. Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, All right, I guess. I'm moving on now.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
wish you
you can
all the
say
best.
you're
Whatever.
gonna move on. It's just the actual process of it. It's, in my opinion, a
Mm,
bit harder. This is my opinion. It's a bit harder because, again, with a crush, you've already built up this idea of one day, hopefully, we will be together. And I feel like this is just in the nature of having a crush. You kind of start thinking about your future with this person, like how you would be in a relationship with them, how dates would go. And because it's all in your mind that you've built all this up, it seems more real.
mm, I'm. I don't think I'm like that. I think if they're in a relationship and I know they're in a relationship, I'm going to tell myself that they're in a relationship. There's nothing I could do, so I might as well get over it. And then I just continue doing exactly what I would do any normal day and move on. It would be more like I don't no longer see a future because they already have a future with somebody else. So it makes no sense for me to continue pining over them.
Well, you wouldn't see a few. It's not that you continue to see a future. It's just the future's the mindset that you have, the vision that you already have. It's already there.
Yes,
You
and
don't
I
have to
dissolved
continue
it.
it that quickly.
Yes. It's all mental. It's a mental process. So I sit down, I have a drink or two, and I watch TV and just mentally move it aside. Like every once in a while, I think, oh, I used to have a crush on him. And then I think of all the other things that would bother me. Like they think
What do you
about
mean?
all the negative things that I can find within that person that I would find annoying. Like,
I feel like, all right, with that, that's kind of funny. 'Cause I feel like with me that naturally comes. So it's like I once I've gotten over someone. All right, here's the thing with me. Once I've gotten over that crush, there is a 0 to 5. I'm saying 5 because there's like a very, very slim, but a
mm,
0 to 5 chance I will have a crush on that person again.
yeah.
Very, very slim. And I think that happens, like for me, is because once I've gotten over it, all the things that I would find annoying, I probably didn't notice it at first.
Yeah, would just come to the top.
Yeah, like they don't know how to communicate. They're kind of annoying.
And they don't know it's from it's. You get that?
Oh,
Like
they
the
don't know the difference
grammar.
between it's with the apostrophe
Yeah.
placement, or they don't know the difference between
There and there.
theirs, and you overlooked that because you thought they were cute, and
Cute.
now that they're not that cute anymore, you're just like, fuck, they're stupid. They're so mean. No, it's not that, but I do agree with you on that. It's like once you've gotten over it, you start to notice all the little things that would
Yeah.
normally piss you off if it was anybody else.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. It's annoying, but it's like, and the thing is, you don't hate this person because you still consider them probably like a friend, or they're still
Yeah.
cool. You can still find them attractive and they're still cool. It's just, it's like, you're no longer the shit to
Yeah.
me.
Like the way they talk just bothers me. Like, oh, why did I find they talk so
You know how
weird.
I know I truly got over that guy? He hit
Yeah.
me up a few days ago,
Yeah.
and I got it, and my immediate thought process was fuck. And not in the fuck as in, oh my god, I still have feelings. It was more so like, fuck, leave me alone. Like, I don't feel, it was like, it was night, I was tired, and I posted something on my story because
Mhm.
I know he looks at my stories. And it was something with Squid Game I posted,
Mhm.
and he like sent me a message on it, and my immediate thought process was, I don't feel like talking right now. Like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah. I get those.
That's how I truly knew I got over it. It was less of, oh my god, like he's texting me, but more so, I don't feel like talking. Go away. Leave me alone. Like,
Yeah. I get that.
yeah.
Like with crushes or exes or just like ex people that you used to talk to that you don't talk to
Yeah,
anymore.
it's like at one point you were excited for their message,
Yeah,
and
and
now
now
you're
it's
just
just
like,
like, ugh,
I gotta like
okay.
communicate and
I'm not gonna
converse.
communicate.
And
Like, I'm just gonna leave
it's not
it.
even like an annoying sense where it's just like I'm talking to someone who I used to have feelings for. It's like I just don't feel like
Want.
talking to anyone right now. and you're one of those
Yeah.
people. Like any other moment, I'd be like, yeah, sure, we could talk. But it's just like, I'm lazy and I'm tired and I don't feel like socializing. So
Yeah. Leave it on red.
no, I answered back.
Oh, I
Because
okay.
I'm nice. He left me on red. He always did that, which is weird. I thought that was weird.
Yeah,
He
it
always
is
used to he
weird.
always used to like leave me on red, but then he would start the conversation in the first place.
I don't get that.
I don't get that either.
Like guys
Why do people do that? Why do they start conversations when you're not even gonna finish
finish
it? It's
it.
just like what was the
Like,
point of any of
but
this?
like they will be like, "Hey," and you say, "Hey." They see it and say nothing.
And they'll be like, how's everything going? And you tell them and they
And
just
then
never respond back.
never. You're like, "And you?"
See, and it's
Nothing.
funny because before that would like annoy me in the sense where it's just like, why would he text me and not
And
respond back? But it's
right.
like I kind of welcomed being left on this. I was like, okay, good, he's leaving me alone. I didn't mind it this time. Oh, that's
Oh
fun.
wow, that's funny.
It's fun. It's fun getting over crushes.
Yeah, it is.
It
I
is. It's kind of empowering, I feel
It
like.
is. It's also a relief where you don't have to.
Have feelings.
Yeah.
There's
Pretty
a
much
there's a I feel like there's a worry when it comes to credit. Like you're worried about what you say.
what
They're
you
always like what you
do.
do. They're always on your mind. Do you sound cool enough? Do you
Yeah.
sound like smart enough? And then when you get to that point where you're just like, I no longer give a fuck about your opinion.
Yeah.
It's so relieving.
Yeah. Pretty
It's
much.
it's like the best feeling. That's why I hate having crushes. I find it fun at first. It's
Hmm.
like you have feelings for someone. I like to think of romantic relationships sometimes, not just with me, but just in general. Like I know deep down, as sarcastic as I am a romantic at heart.
Yeah.
So I find it fun in the beginning, but then once it starts prolonging and the pining comes in, I'm just like, can this where are we going? Are we going left or are we going right?
Yeah. I think you have to clarify it with yourself first and then ask them to clarify it. Like where they're going with it or where you're going with it. Because sometimes I have crushes and I know it's not going to go anywhere because I'm going to find little things about it that I don't like. And then that's just going to turn me off from the whole thing. I have this thing where I would talk to, if like we're getting to know each other, I would talk to them for a few and then after like a month or two, I would just
It starts to
go
drag.
yeah, it goes back into me being comfortable with being alone and not worrying about anybody else or anything. So then the person would have to put in the effort. If they don't put in the effort, it's not going to go anywhere.
I think I agree with that. Like, if anything, I feel like I need to have more of that mindset because my mindset when it comes to it is like, I agree if they don't put in the effort, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
However, I think I just sit there and I wait for the effort sometimes.
Mm.
I'm starting to accept this mindset of if they wanted to, they will.
Right.
And I have that not only with crushes, but I feel like with anybody kind of now. Crushes more specifically because I feel like it fits the narrative more. But yeah, so if they want to, they will.
Yep. And
Yeah,
that's how the cookie crumbles.
exactly. That's how it should be. All right. So next week we are gonna do something a bit more fun. We're gonna read off some of our favorite "Am I the Asshole" stories. We're gonna look online, try to find some fun ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you liked this episode or any of our previous ones, you can leave us a review. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you choose to listen to your podcasts.
That's right. And we also upload our podcast on YouTube. So you could check us out at This Is Random and give us a like, subscribe. If you really, really like it, you could also share it. Yay! If you want to keep in touch, as always, you could follow us on Twitter at thisisrandom_TA.
This has been This Is Random with Tay and Adri, and we will catch you next week.
Yeah, do 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 do. Okay, bye.
Bye.